You know, I make a lot of things, but the thing that I make the most, mistakes, typos, inaccurate lines, ink splatters. They're just an inevitable part of the creative process. Now on my laptop, it's easy to backspace and delete those mistakes, but on the pages of my sketchbook, it's more of a challenge. If I made preparatory pencil sketches, I could erase them, but I don't. I work in ink most of the time, so I need strategies and tools to handle my blunders. The easiest thing to do is to just scratch out the offending error. I cross out a word and I write a substitute above it. I draw a fresh line astride the wrong one. I tell myself that this is an aesthetic choice, that it reveals my process. And that's somewhat true. I do like how Ronald Searle and Ralph Steadman leave in their splatters and corrections. But let's be honest, I'd rather be perfect. Sometimes rather than obliterating the mistake, I'll shapeshift it. I'll turn the error into a feature. I always remember seeing a print illustration by the great illustrator Alan Kober, in which he drew two ears on one side of Lyndon Johnson's face. He was acknowledging that he had put the first one in the wrong place. Another option is to apply a patch to the page. Cut out a little piece of the same paper and just stick it down and then draw a new bit on top. Honestly, I rarely do this. It's distracting and sort of cringily sneaky. Instead of fessing up to my mistake, I'm slapping down a little patch that just makes you wonder, hey, what's going on underneath there? And then there's whiteout or liquid paper. You know Mike Nesmith from the Monkees? Remember that band? Well, did you know that his mother invented whiteout? Weird. There's also the art version of whiteout, white gouache or bleed-proof white, or a white Prismacolor pencil, or an white acrylic marker, or various white gel pens, or my favorite alibi of all, the Pentel Presto Jumbo Correction Pen. Not a sponsor, but I'm a fan. It has a fat blue body and a big snap-on cap and a fine steel point like an old school rapidograph. And the fluid that comes out of the nib is super opaque and it dries quickly and flat. Sometimes it can be a tiny bit glossy, but not glaringly so. And one Presto pen costs around $3 and it'll last a surprising length of time. I saw a comment on the Pentel website from a guy who claimed that he'd been using the same Presto pen since 1989, 32 years. I guess he doesn't make many mistakes. Anyway, I own 3 or 4 of them, and I keep them on every drawing surface in my studio. And finally, there's the nuclear option. Rip the whole page out of your sketchbook. Shred it, bin it, burn it. Let's not go there. Denial is not just a river in Egypt. It's a failure to understand the value of mistakes, that they are lessons that make us better at not making future mistakes. Most of my mistakes come from rushing or impatience or lack of looking and thinking and paying attention. Too often I just attack the page and then I find myself way off the path that I'd intended. Or I don't look at my subject slowly before I put ink on paper. I don't test out my mix color on a scrap piece of paper before I commit it to the page. I don't have an outline when I write. I'm overexcited by the germ of an idea and I just want to see it in full flesh, fully realized as soon as possible. Flipping through an old sketchbook and coming upon the festering remains of a rushed drawing, it's like stumbling upon one of those unfortunate corpses that they have on the route to the Everest summit. It's a reminder to take care and to appreciate the journey. But there are those times when I need my trusty Presto pen, not because I'm ashamed of being fallible, but because it's a dead end that detours me from reaching a new and more interesting place. Sometimes I need to see my journey properly, all the way through, to see my drawing with just one left ear, and to get a satisfactory outcome, and to see the equation solved. Presto, QED.
I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, sign up for my free essays. I'll send you great advice like this every week. And subscribe to this channel. I put out new videos every week. And next, watch this.